Hello and welcome to my review of the 2009 Kawasaki Versys. This is Oklahoma KLR. I'm just going to go right out and say it that I test drove this bike. I came back the next day and I bought it. So, I don't think that makes me impartial. I'm a pretty informed buyer. I thought that's what I wanted. I've got a KLR now, but at the time I really had the idea in my head that I was going to do some long distance rides, and I thought the Versys would be it. And I ended up putting a full Jivvy luggage set, and it was all matching colors and everything. It looked really good, and I put some time and effort into this bike, and it just didn't do it for me. But I'm going to get over to that point here in a minute. Alright, I really like the looks. The green, it's awesome. I wish my KLR was that green. Some people don't like the headlight. I can get over that. Heck, you don't see it while you're sitting on it. The power, it's got a great mid-range. It just pulls right off idle. I wouldn't say it has a lot of grunt, right down low. But, you get the clutch out and you just give it hell. And in first gear, it can throttle up the front wheel. It's got definite good amount of power. It'll hold itself on the highway. It's great for the twisties. I would call the power definitely adequate. 650cc, 649, whatever you want to call it. It's a twin. I really liked it. The fun factor on this bike is pretty high, if that's what you're looking for. When I bought this bike, I had intentions of doing these long rides. I did one 550-mile day on it. And I just decided that I didn't think that type of just highway riding was for me. I think it would make a great commuter bike. If you ran around town or you did shorter trips, I think it'd be great. I like the ergos on the bike too. The seat is fairly wide and fairly flat. It doesn't push you forward at all. It's pretty neutral. I like the bars. They're wide. They're easy to turn. It likes to be kind of tossed around, into the twisties and stuff. It's not a sport bike, but it's also not a dual sport. I would probably consider the Versys a light touring bike. The price is great. You can get into one for anywhere from probably the high threes to $6,000 or so, and then deck it out the way you like. I like the Jivvy bags I had on it. It worked well for what I was doing. The windshield, I liked it because you can see from this angle, it's not completely flat against the front end. There's some air gap underneath it. I think that air gap is great. It lets air get in behind the windshield and doesn't create a zone for it to buff it. The air passes over and under the windshield. I think it works fairly well. There's some options for more adjustment or taller or whatever, but first thing I'd say has to go on the bike. Get a decent set of mirrors. Get a decent set of tires on it. Maybe upgrade the seat if you feel like it, but all that bike really needs is gas. I bought it. I liked it. It just wasn't exactly right for me at the time. If you like the video, subscribe. There'll be more reviews coming up.